when you were talking about the Kilroy is Here stuff, for those who don't know, it'd be actually cool if you can go into the folklore of the whole Kilroy is Here thing, because I know a little bit about it, and I know it started in Vietnam, and then right, do I have
It
that right?
actually started in World War II.
So then I'm
Uh,
wrong in that. So I know very little. And then I also know the Styx album, Kilroy is Here. But
yes.
yeah, get into it, because I know the drawing. I have not read your book, but yeah, get into it, because not the book itself, because I'm just, for people wondering the basis of that name, Kilroy is Here.
Yeah. So Kilroy Was Here. It was like some people say it was like the first viral meme,
Yeah.
because it started just showing up everywhere around battlefields in World War II. The most popular origin story for Kilroy is that there was a guy, a shipyard foreman in Massachusetts by the name, I think it was John J. Kilroy. And it could have been another J name, but um, so people used to get paid by the amount of rivets that they would put in to ships under construction for the war effort in World War II. And so one of Kilroy's jobs was to go around and count the number of rivets that each particular worker had put in during the day, and then they would get paid based on that. So he would, when he got done counting, would leave a mark showing where he'd finished off counting for the day. Well, workers got wise to it, started erasing his marks and moving them further down the line so that they could get extra pay. So he started making more elaborate marks, and he would leave Kilroy Was Here written on the ship above where he'd ended counting. Well, because they were kicking out these ships so fast in the construction of them, they were showing up without being like the inside of the ship wouldn't be painted before troops were being transferred overseas. So troops in these ships being transported to the European and Pacific theaters would see Kilroy Was Here all over the inside of these ships. And somehow the marks around the rivets got turned into the eyes and the nose with the hands sticking out, and people started leaving that Kilroy Was Here all over the battlefield. So much so that in a lot of cases, it seemed to appear in places where people didn't know that US forces had even been. Or like troops would arrive on the battlefield and find Kilroy Was Here already there. And there's even rumor that like Hitler thought Kilroy was a like US operative that was like coming to assassinate him. So there's all kinds of like different little legends and lore around Kilroy, especially from the World War II area. But then it did continue into like the Korean War, into Vietnam. I even had people send me stuff from Afghanistan and Iraq where they found Kilroy in the latrines or in a porta-john or scribbled on some 2x4 somewhere. So it's kind of cool how it's just came through the decades and people still recognize it. And I get pictures sent to me every now and then from just out in civilian life where people are like, oh, I found Kilroy. So it's kind of cool.
Well, so obviously it's something you've been fascinated with. I know that your book it's not like a historical book about this, but you obviously do know the history. So when did you become fascinated by this?
So I actually had started writing the book before I even learned about it.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and because I hadn't settled on a title yet, and the whole theme of the book is kind of like this cavalry officer who wants to leave his mark on the battlefield, but like in my case, was relegated to a desk job before he got deployed to Afghanistan. So he doesn't really know how to do that. And then I learned about Kilroy and the leaving the Kilroy mark on the battlefield, and I was like, yeah, that seems like a pretty appropriate title for it. So I worked that into the book. There is like a little bit lengthier history of it in the book, probably a little bit more accurate than what I just tried to recall from memory. But yeah, so that's kind of where it originated from, and now I get to get pictures of it from everybody. So
It's cool, but you're keeping the legacy alive of, as you said, like the first meme before the internet.
right.
Thanks for checking out Battle Line Podcast. This is just a smaller clip from our latest episode, which you can check out in its entirety by clicking here. While you're watching, be sure to hit the subscribe button and thumbs up the video to show your support. Now, if you'd really like to help us out, click the thanks button below to make a donation. It goes directly to us in keeping Battle Line Podcast going for you.